We want to continue the discussion with Larry Elder, the 2024 GOP presidential candidate who also ran against Governor Newsom in California's 2021 recall election. You got a big smile on your face. I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about this. So did the school board make a mistake by giving in? Could they have potentially taken this all the way to the Supreme Court?
They could have. It would have cost them at least $1.5 million. And so they decided to save taxpayers money by basically caving in to the governor's demand. And Adrienne, that's one of the reasons why I ran against Gavin Newsom, why I'm running for president. One of the big issues is school choice. This kind of thing should be determined by the local district, by the teachers, by the administrators, and by the parents, as opposed to Gavin Newsom bigfooting this. I mean, we got a real problem in education here in California. Our scores are near the bottom. 75% of Black third graders can't read or do math at grade level, and this is Gavin Newsom's concern. Nationwide, there are 13 public high schools in Baltimore, just to pick one city, where 0% of the kids can do math at grade level. And the city superintendent of public schools is Black. The county superintendent of public schools is Black. So you can't blame this on white supremacy or on systematic racism. What's going on here is we need school choice. Black and brown parents living in the inner city want school choice, but the Democrats are in bed with the teachers union, one of their largest, if not their largest funder of donations, and they adamantly oppose school choice, even as a party elite, whether it's Barack Obama or Joe Biden or Gavin Newsom have their own kids in private school. It's really quite offensive. They're stopping urban kids from getting a quality education while making sure their own kids get one.
Let's talk about what Governor Newsom said. It's not surprising that you are opposed to the governor's stance, of course, based on your own platform and political agenda. But he said demagogues who whitewash history, censor books, and perpetuate prejudice never succeed. Newsom adding, hate doesn't belong in our classrooms, and because of the board majority's antics, Temecula has a civil rights investigation to answer for. Do you think this is going to backfire for Governor Newsom? Do you think there are more people in California who think like this school board, but they're just outnumbered or outvoiced by activists in California?
I mean, Adrienne, talk about being a demagogue. Having a legitimate discussion over whether or not this is age appropriate for elementary schools is hate speech. This is what people like this, like Gavin Newsom, does. There's a legitimate issue about whether or not third graders should be taught about certain kind of sexual orientation. There's a legitimate discussion about how Harvey Milk ought to be portrayed. And it seems to me that if you have a good faith disagreement, it doesn't mean that you're a hater. And that's why I'm asking people to go to my website, LarryElder.com, and donate at least $1. I need 40,000 individual donors to get up there in the debate stage in Milwaukee next month and talk about school choice, and talk about the lie that America is systemically racist, and talk about the 10,000-pound elephant in the room, Adrienne, which is the epidemic of fatherlessness, which neither side is really addressing. That's why I'm running.
And you know, I wanted to address the fact that Temecula wasn't the only school district facing this. Apparently, there was a really heated school board meeting in Chino, California. California is so massive. There's much more diversity of thought than I think some people realize. But they had a big heated meeting because of a new policy requiring staff to notify parents if a student requests to identify as a different gender. Right. So in terms of parents' rights, what do you believe, especially with your stance running for president in 2024, what would your stance be as far as education goes and parental rights?
Well, again, that's why I support school choice, where the local districts, the teachers, the administrators, and the parents have far more control than a top-down kind of situation that we have here in California. And you're right about California being a diverse state. I thought the left liked diversity, except when there's diversity that they happen not to like.
Larry Elder. That big smile still on your face. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us on Morning in America.
Thank you, Adrienne. You know where to find me anytime.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.